Hello, everyone. It's me, Ivan, also known as Ivan. And today we're going to do a little review for Akiba Maid War. There's going to be not even, I would say, mild spoilers, but I have to talk a little bit about the show. So there's going to be a couple of things that I might have to touch on, but they're not spoiler per se. But if you want to go into the show completely brand spanking new, go ahead. So I'm just going to say you should definitely watch it. Now, let's talk about this. And yes, I know I'm not in my usual setup. The next couple of reviews are going to be done in this setup. That is not my permanent setup. I'm just traveling for the moment. I'm at the Geeks and Gamers studio. So yes. So that's why. So I'm not gonna have my usual little tentacle graphic or like the image here, but for you and your attention span, I'm gonna have the intro of Akiba Maid War just playing right here. So hopefully this is going to suffice you. So let's talk about Akiba Maid War. Um, Akiba Maid War is exactly what you would get if you combined beautiful, cutesy, and quirky maids with John Wick. Like, do you want to get your fill as a degenerate? Because let's admit it, you are with cute ass maids that have actually a personality to them. They're not just a pretty face, but then also you are a bloodthirsty assassin that cannot get enough action as it is. So you need a lot of bullets and mafia storylines. Akiba Made War is just for you. Akiba Made War is an original project exclusive of High Dive that being an original project, it doesn't have a manga. So it is expressing its own by its own and it's its own thing, which I think original projects can be a hit or miss, but this one is an absolute banger. Here we have beautiful maids that live in this street of Akibahara. I think that's how you say it. And there's a lot of maid cafes. And you would think that they would be supportive of each other, right? Wrong. All these maids cafes are entangled in a way, having this underground mafia battle going on to prove which is the best maid cafe. Some maid cafes might have ranking even. So we know that this is the superior maid cafe. And if anyone tries to outshine them, they just get fucking killed. Now, this is definitely one of those animes that I didn't have a whole lot of interest going into it, but I was able to watch the first episode in a screening at a convention, and everyone in the audience, including myself, were blown away because of the sheer quality as well as the storytelling and what I think is the highlight of the show, the personalities of the maids. Because how often do we run into shows where there's kick ass action, but it's just not fulfilling? Well, this is definitely not the case because the personality of the maids give a nice fresh balance into what the show is, because the tone of the show, even though it looks bright, colorful, neon light, festive, it's dark. Like there is definitely a very dark tone to this show, and the more the show progresses, the darker it gets. And it's not very easy sometimes to digest because you're going to care for these characters and you will want them to succeed and mainly survive. But how do you balance this? Well, comedy and style. So there's definitely good comedy as well as a good pacing of story. It doesn't just rely on its action and the pretty faces of the maids. The show definitely gives a good take on a oversaturated market that is the maids. Everyone loves maids, right? But how do you make them original? Well, here you make them original by having them be original. We've never seen a maid that is 36 years old and is a complete cold hearted queen, but with the feelings of a teddy bear. Nor have we seen a maid that is portrayed as not only a kick ass fighter, but also an immigrant that from time to time speaks Russian, or an over a girl that definitely is not shy to wear a shit ton of makeup, or a mute panda. It is just one of those shows that I cannot get enough of. And I highly doubt that there's going to be a season two to this, because the show actually wraps in a very good way. And I was very satisfied with the show. Now, is it perfect? No. And I think it's time that we talk about the negatives that this show has. And one of the negatives, I think, is also one of the positives, because sometimes the comedy might be just overlapping the tone of the show. Sometimes I wish I had spent a little bit more time with these characters to feel a little bit when things would happen. But sometimes its strength could be also its detriment. And sometimes the comedy wouldn't necessarily land where it needed to. Another negative that I have on this show is that sometimes your expectations are going to be subverted. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to subvert your expectations the last Jedi style, where you're going to feel completely unsatisfied, but you're going to this show will want you to think of those classic anime tropes that you are accustomed to, and it will subvert them in a way that you're probably not expecting, which for me, that was a little bit of a problem. I was able to appreciate the fact that they did it, but at the end of the day, because of the result, I wasn't necessarily happy with it, because I wanted them to follow the classic trope. So at the end of the experience of the show, I would not be feeling the way I felt, which was it. It wasn't necessarily that I felt unsatisfied. It was more that I just, again, I'm not going to touch spoilers, but I was just like, there is there is definitely the want for more, and the show itself restrains a lot to give you a self-contained story. So, is it a good experience? Absolutely. Is it a memorable experience? Absolutely. Does it have a kick ass intro and beautiful animation to go with? Absolutely. Where can you find it? On High Dive. So let's put this on the tentacle meter. So I'm just gonna put my arm. Imagine this is the tentacle. For Akiba Maid War, I'm going to give it a 7.5 suction cups out of 10. It is absolutely great. I like it a lot. Is it does it make sense a lot of the times? No. Does it sometimes feel like the pacing is not necessarily good? No. But is it incredibly entertaining? Yes. It could easily be an 8. Easily. But the only reason why I'm not going to give it an 8 is mainly because of what I said before. The subverting of expectations. That's the main reason why, because I felt like it was an unnecessary subversion of expectation, even though I can see why and I understand it. Personally, I did not like that they did it, even though I appreciate it. I hope it makes sense what I'm saying. But unbiased opinion, it would be an 8, easy. But because I'm trying to be as impartial as possible with you guys, I'm going to give it a 7.5. Let me know in the comments down below if you have seen it or if you have not seen it. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.